Good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started with this morning's ceremony. Commuters and honored guests,
Let's go.
we're assembled here today to rededicate our memorial fountain by adding the names of Mike Marzorini and Cliff Dutrow, who has left us. Our chaplain will lead us in prayer.
Our Father who art in heaven, grant that we approach this ceremony with hearts flooded with sunshine of happy memories. Help us recall the gentle world, the kind thoughts, and the many fine attributes which made our friends such upright men. Amen.
Amen.
Mr. Secretary, who happens to be right next to me, what is the number of honored deceased? Does it match the names on the memorial fountain?
97 of our faithful committee members have left us since the memorial fountain was first dedicated. There are 97 names inscribed on a memorial fountain.
Mr. Secretary, please call the names of the departed colleagues.
Mike Marzorini, Cliff Dutrow,
Steve Taddy, will you please deliver the eulogy in the life of Mark Marzorini?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mike Marzorini was born in San Francisco, California on November 25th, 1925. A member of good standing in America's greatest generation. That was a generation that helped their family survive the Great Depression, win World War II, and had the work ethic, the ingenuity, and the optimism that eventually put a man on the moon. I had the pleasure of speaking with Veronica Marzorini about the beautiful family and the life that her grandparents built during their 73-year marriage. I also communicated with our Commuters honorary life member, Richard Lee, and with our active member, Dave Bratzler. In Mike's early years, he worked at a grocery store, and then he served in the United States Navy in the Aleutian Islands. Mike and Betty had 2 children, Michael and Vicky, 4 grandchildren, Veronica, Jocelyn, Lauren, and Brooke. For 32 years, Mike worked at the Naval Air Rework Facility at the Alameda Naval Air Station. He was the head of the 550 branch, which is production planning. Veronica said Mike had the incredible ability to fix anything. He worked on cars. He worked on motorcycles. He also could tell a great joke. One of the things that made Mike unique was he was very particular about ravioli and tamales. He was uber organized, a great leader at work. I was told by members of the commuter committee that he was a person who could see a problem, see a challenge, but he always had a solution to offer. In their retirement, Mike and Betty moved to Roseville and loved to travel. Their trip of a lifetime was to Hong Kong. Mike served his community as a member of the Oddfellows, and the entire family would spend summers at the Oddfellow camp at Russian River. Veronica said that Mike and Betty were the absolute grandparents who adored their grandchildren. Veronica said that every wonderful memory I have in life growing up was with my grandparents. I still use the golf clubs that Grandpa gave me, and we got to play golf together once. But they took us pee-wee golfing a lot, and Grandpa was always teaching us. Veronica said Mike and Betty spoiled us rotten. There were trips to Disneyland, gifts, outings, you name it. They were the absolute best. I miss him. We were so lucky. The Alameda golfing community and the Commuters Committee was also lucky. Mike was the head marshal at Carica Park. He made one hole-in-one and was part of the Commuters Committee for 12 years. Mike joined the committee in 1984. He was general chairman in 1994 and was awarded honorary life membership in 1996. Thank you, Mike Marzorini, for a life well lived and your legacy. To the Alameda Commuters Committee, as a family man, and as an American.
Steve, thank you very much. Great job once again. Now, next is Bob Blanchard. Will you please deliver the eulogy on the life of Cliff Dutrow?
Good morning. It's an honor and a privilege to share the condensed account of Cliff Dutrow's life. Cliff was born on April 22nd, 1927 in Point Richmond, California, to his parents, Bill and Irene Dutrow. Cliff had an older brother, Kenneth, and a sister, Doris. Cliff's mother, Irene, and the kids moved around the Bay Area during the Depression, seeking work wherever she could find it to support the family during the hard times of the Depression. Cliff's experiences growing up in rough neighborhoods made him tough, and he took up boxing to defend himself during those times. Cliff also played semi-pro football. Cliff was very close to his mom, Irene, and always looked after her as she did him. Cliff worked various jobs during his youth to help contribute to the family. During World War II, Cliff's brother Kenneth was wounded and later passed away from his injuries. In 1944, at the age of 17, Cliff joined the United States Army and was assigned to the 7th Infantry Division in the Western Pacific. He joined the Army boxing team and represented the team meritoriously. When Ken passed away from his injuries, Irene requested that the Army release Cliff to return home to resume his help with the family. Upon Cliff's return home, he decided it was time to find a career job, and that's when he enrolled in the Fire Academy. And in 1952, he went to work as a fireman at the Alameda Fire Department. He rose through the ranks to become assistant chief. One of his greatest achievements or contributions at AFD was starting the first Northern California EMT, Emergency Medical Training, for firefighters, which made the response time much quicker and saved lives. Cliff retired from the Alameda Fire Department in 1978, and Cliff then met Jan, his future wife, on December 23rd, 1960. They had their first date on February 17th, 1961, and were married in August 20th, 1961. They were blessed with 3 children, Carla, Kenny, and Mike. The whole family decided to move up to the foothills in the Sierras to complete their education and in Gray Eagle, where Cliff worked for the Postal Service, retiring again after 10 years. They also lived in the communities of Lake Wildwood, Sun City, and Rancho Marietta, all areas that were small town communities. Unfortunately, Jan passed away on November 8, 2014. They now are reunited in heaven, and may they both rest in peace. Thank you.
Bob, thank you very much. Dutrow family, thank you for attending, and you traveled from where again, or? Forest Hill. So thank you very much, and appreciate you coming down. In vain we call these fine members who have passed into the light, which is beyond the valley of shadow of death. The places that have known them shall know them no more. Their trials have ended, their faults forgotten, their virtues cherished as they rest in peace. We have honored them with their names upon our memorial pylon, so that their example and service may be remembered and preserved in the history of the Alameda Commuters Golf Committee. The plaque is right over there. It was their dedication of good sportsmanship and good fellowship that helped the Alameda Commuters Golf Tournament, the premier amateur golf tournament in Northern California. Indeed, it is a credit to all of us. Thank you all in the green coats. This memorial has concluded. The chaplain will deliver a closing prayer and dismiss us. Play well today, guys.
God our Father, may thy blessing rest upon the service which we performed as we rededicate this fountain to the memory of
our departed friends. May the virtues and the virtues of all who have gone before them be recalled by all who gaze upon this memorial fountain.